What's happening, Twin Lakes? Jim Keithley once again answering another home quarantine question for you. Had a gentleman walk off the golf course about 10 days ago after playing 18 holes in 30-mile-an-hour wind, and he wanted to know if I had any suggestions or any helpful hints on playing in wind conditions. It's a good question. Come right back and we'll try to tackle it. So let's face it, if you're going to play any golf in the springtime here in Indiana, you're going to be faced with wind conditions. So this video, I'm just going to put together some helpful hints and suggestions on what we see people do poorly and some misconceptions when playing in the wind. So the first one that we see a lot is this idea of if you're hitting into a headwind, and now we're talking 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour, that whatever club you have, you're going to, instead of playing it normal ball position, that they put it back in their stance and they really come in with a steep angle of attack. And in theory, sure, that's going to let the ball go lower, but what else is it doing? It's producing a ton of spin, and don't you think that spin would be the enemy in playing into a headwind? So when you overproduce spin, what's it going to do? It's going to shoot up in the air and balloon on you. So one of the biggest enemies is spin. Two things: people overswing, they try to hit too hard, and they try to hit it lower, steep angle of attack, poor ball position. So let's do this. I've got two clubs. Let's assume I have a shot that's going 150 yards. So I'm 150 yards from the green, and that would typically be my 8-iron. I want to make sure that you can see my ball position here. So 150 yards would typically be my 8-iron. If I'm hitting into about a 10 or 15 mile an hour wind, I would exchange that 8-iron for a 6-iron. So I'm going up 2 clubs. There is no perfect scenario or formula for club selection, but I would say always take 1, if not 2, extra clubs. Now, instead of playing the ball back, okay, I say play the ball a little bit forward. Why? Because you have less loft now, okay? And then you're going to be swinging much slower. We're not going to be producing as much speed, so it's going to keep the ball from ballooning. As far as technique's concerned, I ask people all the time, show me what you look like when you hit a knockdown shot or a punch shot. And so many times that motion is their most efficient move because they have a lot of connectivity and a lot of structure going into that shot. So my suggestions would be, instead of playing the ball position back and coming at a steep angle of attack, play the ball more forward. Always take 1 or 2 more clubs, experiment with that, and then show me a lot of structure and a lot of connectivity. Not this way. So what it's going to look like is something like this. Playing in the wind, take it as a challenge. I know I do. I love playing in wind conditions. So take it as a challenge, but you've got to practice these techniques. Give it a shot. Let me know how you do. As always, we're one day closer. I'm feeling some hope. We're one day closer to being on the other side of this. So stay strong, stay tough. We'll see you next time.